If you've watched any of my videos on pot grown hostas, you'll know I'm a big fan of growing these boys in pots on gravel, and just look how well they're doing. We're shooting this in the middle of June, and I don't think I've got a single example I can show you of any slug damage on these, and the reason being every single one of these pots is grown on this coarse gravel shingle. And if you haven't got the ability to do that, then just by putting a saucer with some gravel underneath it is going to act as a perfect barrier to prevent slugs and snails from working their way onto your hostas. And you can grow them in this sort of condition very easily without the use of any chemicals or slug pellets or any of those type of horrible things that you really don't want to encourage into your garden. So let's just walk you around the display. On the right aspect of this step, we've got another grouping, including a couple of ferns, but also these large leaved and lime green versions. Again, absolutely clean, no slug damage on any of these. And now's the time really to be both watering these but also adding some feed, and my recommendation is to get them into flower. And you can see here these lovely flower spikes already starting to come out on this early variety with the variegation. Is a general tomato feed. Now I recommend that because it's high in potash, which is exactly what you want to do with the hostas, is encourage flower formation. And by feeding them now, you can get these to give you an absolutely marvellous display of flower later in the season. And by late June, beginning of July, you'll have the whole lot with multiple flower spikes like this one is already doing. Now, there is a season for a lot of these hostas. Some will flower early, some later. This little baby here you can see is already putting up a spectacular flower spike, but a lot of the more established ones don't flower until much later in the season. Feed them now, encourage those flowers. You'll be rewarded with a marvellous display of pastel blues, pinks and whites, some doubles, mainly singles, but it's really worthwhile giving them that little bit of extra boost right now to get those flowers through. And we'll re-video these for you later in the season to show you the level of display that you can get from a hosta, because you often think of these as simply foliage plants, and they're not. They will give you a lovely flower display as well if they're treated properly.